Okay, I have a market today, and we are doing our makeup. Now, it is summertime in Florida. Did we get some rain yesterday that kind of helped cool it down today? Yes, so that is something that is nice. But something that helps my makeup personally stay in the Florida heat and humidity is, if obviously most of you probably know about like the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, which definitely need to buy more. I can hear there's only a little bit left in there. They make a powder version of it, and it is the best thing ever because it just like really, I feel like, helps set it in. And also, there is only one shade that I am aware of in the waterproof one, but it helps like make me feel a little bit more tan, which right now I feel like it is matching evenly. During the winter time, you could definitely tell I had this on, but right now I think because it's summertime and I've been outside and I use the sunscreen that has like tanning oil already in it, not tanning oil, bronzer in it, so it like gives you some color. I think that's helping it not look different, but I do that, and then I also will take my regular powder and pack it into like the more zones, like my T-zone in my nose is where I will go in with this other one, and then I'll just kind of like blend it out. Now this one does make me look a little pale right now because summertime, but it truly helps. Now I'm hoping that today I will not be sweating as much as I was last time. Also last time we got rained on, but thankfully it rained all day yesterday and Friday, so it's amazing. So there's the base. Ah! As everything is falling. Okay. Next, I go in with the Hoola bronzer. I totally need to buy another one. We are trying to use every little drop, but it definitely gets harder when it's there. I personally don't do contour. I just kind of use the bronzer because like contour is like too cool tone, and I feel like it just makes me look sick. But we'll do bronzer. I am intrigued to see in the fall. My best friend is getting married, and there is like someone who is doing our makeup, and I'm intrigued to see what they do to my face. But we'll talk about that when we get closer. But next weekend, well, not next weekend, this Friday, Saturday, and then next Sunday, is her bachelorette, and I'm so excited. I've been planning stuff and working on themes. I have things that I'm making. I'm super excited for this upcoming weekend. I have known my best friend Melissa since we were in preschool. We met at our preschool's fall festival. We were in line for an inflatable alligator, where you climbed up the tummy, you slid into the mouth. There was like a little obstacle course inside of it, and you could figure out which end you came out of. It was the funniest. In hindsight, it's the funniest thing. But, you know, little preschoolers, you become best friends with the person next to you. And then we did Girl Scouts together. We, like, lived, like, a mile apart for most of our lives. Itchy allergy, watery eyes, I hate this. And then we went, same elementary school. We had 5th grade together. That was, like, the one and only grade level class in elementary school that we had together. And then middle school, we went to different middle schools because even though we were a mile apart, we were zoned for 2 different middle schools. And then we went to the same high school. We did not have any classes together until our 11th grade year. We had trigonometry and analysis of functions together. And we, at that point, well, she started driving, so she would drive me all mornings junior year. Every Thursday morning we would get Chick-fil-A, and at the time our order was $10.60. It was exactly that. We always had that. Maybe my favorite core memory is that one time we paid that amount in coins, and her ex-boyfriend happened to be working at the Chick-fil-A at that time. That was maybe the most iconic thing. I love a little high school drama. And it was the funniest thing. And then What else? Oh, then senior year came around. She still drove us. Most days she didn't like take me home because she was in marching band and they had to stay later. I was in yearbook, so if there was a day for yearbook I had to stay later. It did coordinate well, but most of the time my mom would come and get me, because I also did dance, and when I had a boot on my foot from all my injuries, I could not walk from the back of the school to the front where the buses are fast enough, because like at the elementary school level, the buses will wait until they have clear of everyone there for the most part. Occasionally someone does miss it, but for middle and high school, they got a certain amount of time, and then if you don't make it by that time, they're off because they got other places to be, especially with high school, because they're like in our area, they're the first ones to get done, and so she drove us, and then senior year, it was the second year our school did painted parking spots. They still do it, but at the time you could only paint it in the school colors, and well, she was originally going to be like part 65. And we thought it would be funny if we convinced everyone that we were cousins. Which did work, because I looked like her mom, and then she looked like my mom with the skin color, eye color. The only difference was my mom had like red hair, she had dark brown hair, but it looked believable enough. And so, and then we even said that our moms, we thought this through. We said our moms were cousin, not sisters, so like it was more believable that like we were cousins. And so with that, because I remember when I was in student government, I didn't drive yet because my dad had given me the option. I could either do competition dance or I could get my driver's license in a car. Younger me chose dance. And so did that, so she drove, and we would pay her each week for like money and gas, which one of the funny things is she would never take the money directly from me. We would always, like, if we went somewhere to eat, we'd always fight over who got the pay kind of thing. But my favorite thing was that I started just shoving the $5 in her like middle glove box. And then one day she opened it up and she messaged me. She took a picture of if there was a lot of fives. She's like, "How long have you been doing this?" And I was like, "Oh, all year." And so she had that. She's like, "Well, thank you." But we. Well, my alarm just went off, and I'm hoping it's not messing up the audio for this part. But she like did that, and so we convinced people we were cousins. So. That, and she drove me, so instead of her being all the way at parking spot 65, we managed to get parking spot number 3, because I was in student government, and that meant you could literally leave the car at 7:18 and still get to your first class at 7:20, because our first class was in one of the buildings that was right there, which, fun fact, that building no longer exists. At my high school, they took down the old science and I think probably the old math building, because they were connected, and they built a brand new building. It looks gorgeous. I have not really seen it since then. I drive by my high school all the time, and I know that next year is my 10-year reunion. It's been 9 years since I graduated high school, and that is wild. And I was one of the class of 2016 co-historians, which, guess what? We're the ones in charge of planning reunion, at least at the time. But from the alumni page I see, it seems like more like something has taken over. But we'll see next year. I guarantee I'll get contacted by the student government teachers and be like, "Hey, ooh, that's a little too pigmented. Whoopsies. I should have tapped off." We'll just add more glitter to make it not as visible. That was not planned, but we got a love color pop. I'm using the By the Rose one. Totally did not plan for it to be that intense, but here we are. Okay, now we're gonna add glitter. We're gonna use lots of glitter because feeling sparkle today for the market. So I'm super excited for next week, and I have 15 seconds left. Okay, this is pretty much the finished part. I'm just adding glitter, and then I'll do mascara, but that's nothing really exciting to do off camera.